Okay, well, we are back. Unfortunately, I had a slight technical issue. But we are back once again. Really do apologise for that, but we are back. I've got the issue sorted and we're back racing once again. Really do apologise for the fact that I had a slight technical issue. I did try to resolve it, but the best way was just restart the PlayStation. But the issue is now sorted and we're back. Dylan leads at the moment with a 14-second, well, not a 14, a 5-second gap at the moment. The timing screen is a bit glitched out, unfortunately, but we're back nonetheless, you guys, to get to see the end of the race. Regardless, I will power on and make sure you guys see the end of this race, because it's been a cracker so far. We're not going to miss out who wins here. There's still a bit of wet on track from drivers going a bit wide. You can see there's a bit of spray there. Boyraxa sits in second place, chasing down Dylan, who currently leads for Visceral Racing. The puddle has completely disappeared at Degner 2. There was a puddle there, it's completely disintegrated, it's just gone. Tinner sits in 5th, obviously. Jazzman retired earlier. It's 100% flat out now through the final corner at Sakitto GP. We're going to get to watch the last few laps, well, the last bit. Hopefully we won't have another technical issue again. I really do apologise for that. But we are streaming nonetheless. Gaza sits in 4th. Leonardo, an impressive 3rd. Boyraxa sits 5 seconds behind. Can he win? Can Boyraxa dislodge Dylan of 1st position? Or is Dylan going to get his first win in AOR GT3? You see him run slightly wide there. Full power through the final turn, 144 miles an hour, back up to 146, 150 miles an hour, blasting past 160, gear 6, down the front straightaway. So 143.6 for Dylan. What can Boyraxa do? Is he going to go faster in race pace? No, these two are still evenly matched. They are still lapping within tenths of each other. This is going to go down to the wire, guys. This one will go down to the wire. Who will win? Will Boyraxa win, or will it be Dylan? Let's find out in a couple of laps time. But nonetheless, we have Leonardo sits 3.2 seconds ahead of Gaza. Tinnis sits a far ways back behind Gaza. I'm assuming Tinnis was on the wets, judging by the fact that he had such a huge gap now. Doesn't look like he's got any damage, but I guess he was on the wets. Lewis sits in 6th position, just behind Tinnis. 12-13 seconds ahead of his teammate. And then Big Kid Daddy just slowly creeping up on Vectro. It is this man, VSR Wolfman, leading at Sakitto. Hasn't led a race since Le Mans last season, where he was cruelly taken away by it. It was cruelly taken away. Missed out on just a slight technical issue with the fuel. Just miscalculated it. Just needed an extra lap. And that win was cruelly taken away. But he's going to be redeeming himself here, hopefully at Sakitto. We're on lap 37 of 52. Boyraxa following closely behind. One last time out at Nürburgring, looking for a second win. Currently sits in 2nd position. But he's a fair ways off of Dylan. He's got a lot of catching up to do. But the fact is, these two are so evenly matched, that gap is not going to change much unless one of them has some astonishing pace at the end of the race, or one of them has an issue, because Dylan still laps 2 tenths quicker than Boyraxa. Further down the field we have Jam and Camo, who are actually battling for the scraps of 12th position. Kevin Meyer sits in 10th, Coco just ahead of Dylan, who is about to be lapped, in 9th, Big Kid Daddy in 8th, and then the remainder and then obviously the top 7. Hope you guys are having a grand day today. I hope you're having fun watching this race. Unfortunately, we did have a full grid. We've had a few retirees. Unfortunately, we've had to set up a new stream because my PlayStation did have a slight malfunction. But I hope you're having a brilliant day nonetheless. Are they going to have enough fuel? It is a good question there from Chris Jones. I do believe they are going to have enough fuel from what they've done in practice. It does appear to be enough fuel, but it depends on how much they want to use it. Gaza going sideways through the uphill left-hander. Catching up to Leonardo, the recent Tier 2 driver, promoted up to Tier 1, doing a sterling job in 3rd position. Dylan has lost time behind Coco. It's unfortunate to see. He's been held up potentially. That's allowed Boyraxa to climb back up. It's allowed the gap to reduce. All that work Dylan has just put in to open up the gap has just now been foiled by a lapped vehicle. See, 3.5 seconds slower that lap. That might have been down to the traffic. See Dylan using all the track, all the curve there. Boyraxa and Gaza. Gaza now inherits 3rd position. Snakes Unite now take the top 2 and 2nd and 3rd positions. But can they catch Dylan? Gaza sits 8 seconds, maybe 9 behind Dylan. Boyraxa stuck behind lap traffic, gets out of the way. That will have given Dylan some breathing space, but these two are still closely matched. I'm not so sure. I do believe the amount they've got is enough, guys. But we'll find out. Is it going to be like what happened at Watkins Glen, where Tinnis ran out of fuel on the line on the last lap, had to coast his way round the entire Watkins Glen on lean? Or is it going to be all neat and dandy for our top 2, well, 3, or anybody who is running it tight on the fuel? Scolds not had a good race, unfortunately got collected by Jazzman, who had a spin. Has managed to pick himself up a 42-second penalty. Tinnis has picked up a 34-second penalty with even. Is that speeding in the pit lane? It would make sense potentially, or he's had too many cut track warnings. Tinnis and Lewis picking up the biggest penalties so far in the entire season. They are going to drop so far down the field. That is not going to be a good race for Lewis or Tinnis. Not going to be picking up many points today. They are currently the only 3. As Lewis goes off track, even in the dry, he struggles. Oh dear, not having a good race whatsoever. The gap up front. Boyraxa has gone off track. Boyraxa has gone off track. He's had a mistake. That 1-2 that was supposedly mentioned is not going to be happening anytime soon. We are only about 12 laps away from the finish. And the Snakes Unite cars sit 10 seconds behind now. Dylan has got it all to play for. It's all in his hands. He's got every advantage to his name. The only thing that can prevent this win is himself. It's only him who can stop himself. Gaza and Boyraxa, if they had any chance of a win or wanted a win, it's potentially gone now. Visceral Racing, Dylan representing VSR, could potentially pick up his first win in AOR here. After what's been a torrid season, he is close. He is close to picking it up. It's still a few laps to go, but he's there almost. That dream of glory is almost there. You see Boyraxa and Gaza lapping Coco SBR. Don't know what's happened to Boyraxa. I'm assuming is going to be livid with himself after making a mistake. His Vectra has also had a mistake somewhere. That's allowed Big Kid Daddy to get up into 7th position. Not bad for after obviously having a break from season 14 for a bit. 7th position is not a bad place after starting last in a race. Leonardo currently sits in 4th. Was once running 3rd, but I'm sure 4th is good enough for him, especially after finishing 8th last race at the Nürburgring 24 Hour. Currently, Coco SBR sits in front of him. Lap car gets out of the way in a pretty decent spot, doesn't hold him up in any way, shape or form. You are right there, Foggett. You do need to be careful about these penalties. He could potentially finish. Well, they might not even finish. They could get disqualified. You're right. They could get disqualified for having too many penalties. But Big Kid Daddy, Vectro, Coco, I reckon all these drivers behind Scald will jump right up into the top 5 because Tinnis and Scold have just achieved too many penalties. They've just brought too many to themselves. I think, well, Vectro's picked up a 6-second penalty, so he's going to potentially lose 8th. The gap comes down. Gaz is on the roll. Gaz is on it. He needs a win. Jasmine's not in the race, and Jasmine only sits about 2-3 points ahead of Gaza in the championship. I'm sure 2nd place would be good enough, but every driver wants to win. What's the point of racing if you're not there to win? Gaza wants it, but he's got 7.5 seconds to catch up to Dylan, who is coming to lap. I believe that is Vectro. It is Vectro who gets out of the way on the straight. Perfect positioning of the car. What does Dylan do? Pretty much an identical lap to last lap, I believe. They did not change whatsoever. Gaza, what does he do? Is he going to lap faster? He's lapping faster. Boyraxa, not on pace at the moment, but there's a big gap at the moment. Can Dylan win? A bit of spray still on track. So a little bit of spray coming from the rear left there. Not enough to cause issues to the car, but don't want to be travelling too far offline. Things have changed up dramatically here. Boyraxa running line of stone with Dylan is now nowhere near. It's now Gaza who leads the charge. There's a bit of a camera issue there. Gaza coming up to lap Vectro soon. Vectro, very clean driver, does not get in the way of tight battles, and this is certainly one of them now. This could be the difference. How much fuel they got? Dylan just a little bit less than Gaza, 2 litres. Boyraxa with the least amount of fuel between these guys, the top 3 here. Leonardo even less, 31, 12 laps, or 10 laps, around 10, 11 laps left. Is it enough fuel, I wonder? I think Dylan's in the safe zone because he's going fast, he's not letting off anywhere. He's going safe though, he's not taking any risks whatsoever. Whereas Gaza, I'm sure, is going to be punching it everywhere he can. Yeah, he's going so much faster through 130R. But that gap is certainly coming down. It was 7 seconds, it's coming down even more. Gaza's got a toe down the straight, and he's going to use that toe. Vectro gets out the way for Gaza, who's done a 42.8. Dylan just not lapping as fast as these. He's taking it a bit slower, but he doesn't want to be lapping too slow that Gaza catches up and has a potential opportunity to grab a win here, as Boyraxa has picked up a 2-second penalty, as we've just found out. So he is now going to be dropping even further back now. Gaza takes the time out of Dylan. It's coming down. It's just mesmerising to see. Can Gaza win at Sakitto? Can he win? Or is it going to be Dylan taking in his first win and holding Gaza off, holding the season 13 champion behind him? The gap stays at 6.5 seconds. It fluctuates a bit between corners. Braking and throttle, cars are going at different speeds. It will jump back up soon as Dylan goes back onto the straight and Gaza goes slowly. Gaza is very much a strong and consistent driver, but he spins. As I say that, Gaza goes off track. And he's returned right in front of Vectro, right in front of him. That is a very poor move there from Gaza. Returns right in front of Vectro. That gap has gone. It's back up to 10 seconds. There is so much so for Gaza. That consistent part has just gone. He's lost out. He's lost 3 seconds of time. If that win was there, it's gone now, surely. There's no way Gaza can make up that time unless Dylan has a mistake. But Gaza has cracked under pressure by the looks of it. It had a slight issue coming out of Spoon. Snakes Unite are struggling here. Gaza's got issues by the rear looks of it. His car doesn't look good. Boyraxa goes off track. He's got to let Vectro by because Vectro's on track. Vectro's lifted off to let Boyraxa back in. But Gaza has lost grip. He lost his grip on Spoon. And that has given Dylan even more breathing room later into the race. That Gaza is shooting himself in the foot here. Going fast is not helping. Going fast, going all out It has its risks and it's bitten Gaza. Gaza needs a miracle now if he wants to win here. Tennis sits in 5th. Scold in 6th. Not much is changing. They're all spaced out. Our 12 drivers all here spaced out, but even though they're spaced out, the racing is cool. The racing is fast and hard and is as entertaining as it always is. GT racing always provides, and it's providing today. The wet weather provided, and the dry is proving its worth as well. Gaza losing traction on this corner last lap. Just make sure he does not have a similar fate here. But that gap's increased. And I think that is pretty much, that may have concluded the race here today. But let's not put our fingers on it. For all we know, Dylan could still have an issue, but he's been on the rails since lap 1. Nothing has phased him. No time penalties, no spins, nothing. He has been on the rails all race long, and he's still on the rails now. That's 3 times in one sentence I've used that, but who gives a damn? The racing here is brilliant as Gaza goes fastest in sector 3 with 27.2. He's back on the charge, Boyraxa. Just sitting back, I guess settling for 3rd position. Leonardo also settling for 4th. Let's look at the time penalties. Not much has changed in that department. Still 34 and 42 for Lewis, still having the biggest penalties. Kevin Myers picked up a penalty. Camo has also picked up a penalty. We got a battle for the top 10 here, Coco and Kevin. Kevin looking for the outside on turn 1 of Coco SBR. Lamborghini versus Ferrari, V10 versus V8, turbocharged versus naturally aspirated. The Ferrari, a much stronger car here at Sakitto, I believe. But Coco holds on to the top 10 position at the moment. Both of them in the top 10, but scrapping for a better position nonetheless. Jump on board in the cockpit camera of the Lamborghini Huracan. Following through in Degna 1. Not using as much curb as Coco. Through Degna 2, taking a wide line. Still a puddle there. Under the bridge. Takes a tighter line than Coco. You see Coco taking a wider line. Able to carry more speed through the corner. Coco's managed to open up the gap a bit on Kevin, who sitting back, just taking his time. See Coco just got a little bit more oversteer through some of the corners. Kevin a little bit wide on the exit of Spoon there. Not using all the track. Use all the track. Get as wide as you can. Carry the speed. The gap's coming down up front. It's dropped down below 9 seconds. The gap comes down once again. Gaza is giving it all again. He's going for it. 27 litres. Dylan, 25.6. It's going to be tight, but I think it's going to be enough, potentially. A battle of true supremacy here. Mercedes has been the most dominant car here at Sakitto, regardless if it's time trial or a race. The Mercedes always prevails at Sakitto, and once again, it's a Mercedes up front. But this time, it's somebody different. It's VSR MC Wolfman leading the charge for Visceral Racing at Sakitto. He's got Big Kid Daddy up front to negotiate. I'm sure Big Kid Daddy is just going to get out of the way nice and early. Dylan gives him a slight flash of the lights just to let him know he's there. Does Big Kid Daddy get out of the way? No, he doesn't. Big Kid Daddy doesn't feel he's in the right to get out of the way yet, but I'm sure he will now. Dylan closes up. This is crucial. Gaz is catching as well. Ooh, slight wobble of the car there through 130R. New flags for Big Kid Daddy, who should be getting out of the way now, and he does indeed. Dylan, oh, Big Kid Daddy just slightly wide there. That's unfortunate. He's gone off track. He's in the gravel trap. Big Kid Daddy has ran himself off the road, unfortunately. It's not like it's going to make much of a difference because he's still going to overtake the 2 in front of him. Potentially, it depends on whether Tinnis has got a big enough gap. I believe he may just do so. Boy Raxa through the S's. The gap comes down even more at the front. Big Kid Daddy in front of Gaza. Probably the last place Gaza wants Big Kelly to be in. Through the fast flowing corners of the S's of Sakitto's GP circuit. May have held him up a bit. 47 out of 52. Not long to go. They have got plenty of fuel. Nothing can stop Dylan now. The only thing that will stop him is himself. And I don't believe he's in that position. He believes he can win. He said to me, he said to everyone, he can win. As he gets on the curb, holds it though. He doesn't do what Gaza does. He holds it. He holds the car. Just hold your nerve, Dylan. Do not let it crack you. Just gotta hold your nerve. He holds the car. He lost a bit of time, but there's still time there. Dylan's he may be cracking a little bit. It may be those adrenaline rushes. It might be the butterflies. It's starting to happen. Is Dylan gonna lose it? Or is he gonna hold and prevail? Gaza 6.5 seconds behind. Going as fast as he can to catch Dylan. Is it enough though? We're on lap 48 of 52. This is going to go down to the wire potentially, or one is going to have an issue. We're at in third. Leonardo round in the final corner with 17 litres. He's cutting it close, I reckon. Sitting in fourth, Tinnis. Rounding the final section of Spoon with the 34-second penalty. Has Lewis for company behind him, 27 seconds behind, but who has a 42-second penalty. The largest penalty so far of this season. Big Kid Daddy in 7th, Vectro in 8th, Jam in 9th, Coco and Kevin, who are actually battling once again. Kevin ahead, the Lamborghini pulls through on the outside, doesn't cut back across Coco to just ensure that he doesn't cut right across him and take himself out. That battle is probably going to rage on to the end of the race. 5 seconds now, below 6 seconds the gap now between first and second. It is well and truly, Dylan's had another off. Oh no, it's starting to happen potentially. Dylan may be slightly having a few issues. Is it the tyres? Is it the fuel? Is it nerves? Is it, what is it? What is it that's causing Dylan to lose out on the pace? It goes back up, maybe Gaza might have had a slight issue too. Oh, I really do hope we don't have a heartbreaker here. I really do hope. Tinnis goes fast to sector 1. Camo's moved up to P11. Coco's had an off. Looks like he's had an off for Degner. Here comes Tinnis to lap Coco. Oh, Coco's gone off again and hit the wall in the final dying laps of this race. That's big damage for Coco on the Ferrari. He's going to soldier on though. Good on you, mate. Good on you. That's a lot of damage on your car, but you're soldiering on by the looks of it nonetheless. Oh no, he hasn't. No, he does retire. He goes exactly what I said. Dylan's gone off maybe again. The time's come down from 6 seconds to 4.5. As Coco has retired from minor damage to the front after making a slight mistake. Oh, everything's kicking off now in these dying moments of Sakitto. Japan always delivers. Circuits like these always deliver. GT Racings deliver. It's just, don't want it to end in heartbreak for either Gaza or Dylan. Lewis has got another time penalty. What is it? It's another 2 seconds. He's on 44. My voice is severely hurting right now, but everything's happening so quickly and so oftenly. Just not getting a chance for a break. It looks like Dylan's struggling at his Spoon maybe. No, he looks pretty decent through there. Gaza looks also pretty decent through there. Fuel's not an issue here. What the issue is probably pressure, nerves. Either of these two here can win and they know it. Dylan's run wide again. Oh, just every time I see him get close to that curve, yeah, my heart always flutters a little bit because it's going to be an airplane crash usually there. The gap stays at 4.5. Dylan definitely running a higher, lowest downforce setting than Gaza. It looks like Gaza and Boyrax are running near identical setups potentially, as Gaza sets the fastest lap of the race. Is it enough though? 3 laps, two free laps potentially remaining. Has Gaza got enough to take out 4.5 seconds from Dylan? Has he got enough, or is Dylan going to succumb to pressure and lose it all? Tennis goes fast. This is a sector 2, but that's not where our attention is even. Our attention is on these two battling it out for the lead. Championship contender, last season's champion, probably the best debut for an AOR elite driver in any season, battling it out for the top positions in AOR elite, the pinnacle of AOR, the pinnacle moments in GT3. This is where it all is. This is where the best racing happens, and you've seen it right in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. The battle for first, the battle for supremacy, the battle for the championship, the battle to be the best. Who's going to take it though? Is it Dylan or is it Gaza? As Dylan comes up to 130R, let's go on board with him. 158 before the braking zone, chucks it in, stays off that outside curb. He is not taking any risks, and I don't blame him. There's a lot up to grab here. Gaza sits 2 points behind Jazzman. He's going to have the championship lead after this because Jazzman is currently no longer racing in this race. But Gaza doesn't want to finish for second because second is the first to lose, I believe is what Ayrton Senna said. He wants to finish first. Of course he wants to finish first. He wants to win. Winning is the best part of racing. Gap comes down to 3.5. It's close. You can see Dylan just up front. Is it enough though? Is it enough? Oh, this is going to be close, guys. This is going to be really close. Is it going to be a Snakes Unite who wins, or is it going to be Visceral Racing? My voice cannot do this any longer, but I'm going to do it anyway. Big Kid Daddy, look at the way he came through that S corner there behind Boy Raxa. Let's take a look at the timing sheets again. A few drivers picking up a few big penalties there. Vectro's into the 10-second penalties now. Leonardo sitting in 4th with 8 litres. He's got enough. The gap comes down even more. It's 3 seconds. Is it enough though? Gaz is lapping fast. He's not lapping fast enough though, unless the almighty happens and Dylan has just an absolutely unbelievable accident or a horrible issue. But that's not happening so far. Gaza takes more time out of Dylan. Oh, this is close, guys. This is close. Boy Raxa had an opportunity for the lead, but it's not happening. He had a few slight issues. Gaza leading the charge now. He can see Dylan. He could probably smell him. He could smell glory. He could smell a win. But he's not close enough. Dylan rounds the final corner to begin the final lap of his 90-minute endurance race. He goes on to the final lap here at Sakitto. This is it. This is the lap that counts, Dylan. He cannot make a mistake. Dylan needs to have a good lap here. Gaza sets another fastest lap of the race. But crucially, Dylan cannot have a mistake. Gaza's lapping fast enough. He's lapped the second fastest this lap, but it's not going to be enough. Dylan's got a big enough gap. Oh my gosh, this is going to be really close, guys. Thank you all for joining so far in this race. I do apologise for the fact that there's been 2 streams. It should have been 1, but regardless, I made sure we're going to see the end of this race, and we're going to see it. And we're going to see a new winner or the new championship leader, either a new winner or a new championship leader. Who is it going to be in this race? This race has had ups and downs. It's had drama. It's had amazing line astern races, fastest laps. We've had the drama, we've had everything. There's the cone rolling around the track, even the cone's happy. Dylan comes to the spoon section. Nothing's phased Dylan. He's been on the rails all race long, every lap, every 52 laps. He has been on the rails. Nothing has touched him, not even the unbeatable Boy Raxa from last race. Even the championship leader, Gaza, has not got anywhere near him. Dylan's got 2 corners left. 130R. He negotiates 130R. He's got 1 corner left. Dylan's got 1 corner left. Surely nothing can happen now. Surely nothing can happen. Dylan has negotiated the final corner. Dylan is the winner here at Sakitto GP. He takes his first AOR win in GT3. Absolutely amazing. VSR wins in AOR GT3 Elite. Dylan wins for the first time in Tier 1. Absolutely amazing race for him. Gazza takes second. I'm sure he can't be ashamed with that. He's going to take second place, take the championship lead to Jazzman. Boy Raxa finishes third. Leonardo next to come cross the line. What a race. What an absolutely unbelievable race. Leonardo comes around the final corner to finish fourth. His best finish in Tier 1. What an absolutely amazing drive from him. Tinus coming next. Tinus goes through 130R. One corner left. Tinus does have that unfortunate 36-second penalty. Where is that going to demote him? My voice is absolutely suffering right now. I feel like I have no voice box left. But regardless, Tinus finishes fifth at the moment. What about Lewis? Well, he's got a long way to go yet. Big Kid Daddy finishes seventh. What an unbelievable race. Vectro, Kevin. Vectro will finish 10th. Kevin finishes 9th. Big Kid Daddy at the moment 7th. Yep, he finishes 7th because Tinus has finished. Where does Lewis finish? In the end of this with his 44-second penalty. He's done a pirouette across the line and that is it. The race is over. Dylan is your winner here at Sakitto. Wow, what a race. My voice is absolutely destroyed, but what a race. We're going to get your top 3 drivers in, and we're going to get a few others in. So I do apologise for the slight blue screen as I get the drivers in. But wow, what a race. Alright, so the drivers have now been invited to the party. If you guys have got any comments to make for the drivers, do so make them now, because usually we do have 2 commentators to answer some questions. But if you guys in the race watching have any questions for our drivers, do put them in the comments below and I will forward them to our drivers. But wow, what a race. What an absolutely unbelievable race. I'm glad we got this race finished in the end. The stream still continued as our drivers now join, but and I do have to unmute him actually as well, because I did mute him in an earlier party beforehand. But an absolutely unbelievable race. Let's start with our winner. Dylan, you've done it.
Yes.
You have absolutely gunned it this race. On the rails, nothing touched you. You were undefeatable that race in my eyes. You didn't put a foot wrong. You held off the pressure that is Gaza, last season's champion, and you've only gone and win your first AOR event in GT3 Elite. How do you feel?
Over the moon. Really over the moon. I mean, that's also got to be probably the most stressful AOR race I've ever been in. You know, obviously at the end having Gaza closing down on me, and then obviously in the wet with Boy Raxa literally just on my rear end for what, nearly 20 laps. It was very stressful, but I feel like as well I've made amends for Le Mans, that race when we underfilled as well. So I feel like, you know, I've really made amends for that, and I feel brilliant right now.
Certainly redemption, absolute redemption. I'm sure VSI is going to be absolutely over the moon with you. You said you were going to do something about your season and you've only gone and done it. Nürburgring was the start, but today you've just absolutely punched the ticket and you've earned what I feel and many others feel driver of the day. So congratulations to you. Who is next? I believe Vectro joined us. Vectro, 10th position, another top 10 finish today. You did feel that the conditions were a bit tough today, but nonetheless, you finished the race. Were the penalties a bit strict out there? Because a lot of drivers have been picking up penalties. Could you give your view on that?
First of all, a lot of congratulations to Wolf. I mean, redemption for the beginning of the season, unbelievable. I was really rooting for you, to be honest. Really good job. Well, I just thrown away a potential P5, P6 today. Yeah, and actually to finish 10th with 6,000 difference to 9th, it's just unacceptable. It's just, and the penalties, the most ridiculous penalties I've ever had on any circuit, and I am really, 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 really angry, and I cannot say the words I want to say, but you probably know what words I'm about to say.
Yeah, penalties certainly do cause an issue. I can't see how that is extremely unlucky there. But nonetheless, it's another P3. P3, I wish it was a P3 for you because you've driven brilliant as well. But it is a top 10. I'm sure you can't be disappointed with that. Obviously, some people do have some mediocre races, but you've finished top 10. I'm sure you can't be displeased with that.
You could also say second to last, so it's I'm not happy.
But nonetheless, don't bash yourself. Next up, who else have we got? Because I can't even remember who we got in the is Fried. Oh, so we got Big Kid Daddy, a return to season 14. You had a bit of a break. You were watching the races. You're like, you know what? Let's have a go at this. And you come home to finish 7th in your first race in what was probably the most difficult race. How do you feel out there?
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. To be fair, to be coming back after six races or a bit of a break and coming back and fine mid packs. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. There was tricky conditions. I had better wet pace than the dry pace. But yeah, I was hoping to. I was only 22 seconds behind Scold, and I was hoping I was going to get that 6th place, but I was on the different lap, wasn't I? So I got lapped. So I didn't get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall pretty happy. And congrats, Wolfman. Well
Thanks.
Well, that's all the drivers I've got in the commentary box.
Is the group invited to the party? Sorry, I didn't interrupt there.
No, I haven't interrupted it. I just want to get the stream rounded off because we have been delayed a bit. But yeah, some of our viewers are genuinely impressed. It's been an absolute fabulous race. Well done to all of you completing this race. It's been very difficult out there. Yeah. But yeah, an absolutely brilliant race, and look forward to the next one. So that's the end of what is an absolutely fabulous race. It is VSR MC Wolfman who takes the win today. Undefeatable performance, and we head to Le Mans Bugatti France in the, I believe it's in the first night race of the season. Until next time, I've been Ethan Graham. Thank you very much for joining, and we'll see you next week. Take care and goodbye.